Welcome back. This story is like many other stories which on the local chronicles here in Italy appear. All of a sudden a person feels bad, falls on the floor, they call the ambulance, and by the time they arrive to the hospital they're already dead or in really bad conditions. This is occurring throughout the age groups in society, and mainly the victims are hitting children, because the last case which occurred happened somewhere in the north, Chivasso. A kid of 9-year-old, all of a sudden he fell on the floor because he felt ill. Like all kids, healthy, full of life, this kid reportedly didn't have no issues with health, otherwise he wouldn't be able to practice sports as a passion or with the school, because here in Italy you have to pass through certain medical controls. You have to be certified to be physically to do these sports or any type of sportive activity really. He arrived dead in hospital, and another innocent life is gone. What emerged is he had a brain hemorrhage. Now, how the hell at that age you can have a brain hemorrhage? It happens to people, older people, elderly people are more at risk. Strokes and things like that. We got to ask ourselves why these things happen. And since 2001 and onwards, there's been a lot of these mysterious deaths, and they don't say the causes because they don't want to investigate. Probably you lot out there, I gave you a date. You know what rolled out in that year, beginning of that year? Yes, you have guessed it right. That thing. And obviously, an undertaker, Milton Keynes, when he prepares the bodies for the funeral, the practices of a taxidermist in the funeral directors and parlours they do, he found this type of rubber-like worm, not in the veins but in the arteries of the people who were prepared for the burial, the funeral. And obviously all around the world, spreading this information, and even others who were operating in this sector had experienced such things. It's incredible, they say. Is there a connection what was rolled out in 2001 and things which are still happening today? Because probably the effects of these things, even they're not immediately, probably even take years to have effect all of a sudden. We do not know, because if we took in this certain thing, they say it would make our society safe, as they said. Obviously they told lies, people got injured, people have died from this, and even myself, I was injured from this so-called thing. Yes. I spent 2 months in the Italian hospital here at Pisa and 1 month for rehabilitation. I was lucky, but most people could be disabled permanently of all type of disabilities or die or death. And And I can tell you one thing. When I was admitted to the hospital at Chisinello, the stroke wards, when the doctors doesn't start filling the questionnaire with the patient and they ask you, did you took that thing? Yes. There was a person who took it once. There's a person who took it 3 times. There was a person who took it 4 times. And even 5 times, or even 6 times. That dreaded thing. The symptoms manifest in different ways. Begins as a stroke. And so on. I was a lucky one because the specialist which was waiting me from Pontedera, code red ambulance, sirens, running like the crappers to arrive to Chisinello, and they were waiting for me. He said, if you would wait a day more, you could have been seriously injured, disabled, or you could have died. He said that. And I didn't know at that time what it was until they start doing particular special exams. And obviously, they did not pronounce what caused it. But I know through documentation from around the world, medical research on these things, you will discover the doctors will never ever say what is the real cause of this. And I say to people out there, before you take this thing, go to an old school doctor, general practitioner, physician who has experience, years in experience on their shoulders, and they know from experience, from the medical instinct, how to evaluate each person. Because the general practitioner, he knows his patients probably for years before he goes retired and gets replaced. So do not take advice from people, say, I took it, it's safe, it's not safe. No, you must seek real medical information on this by real doctors, not these doctors who are paid by these pharmaceuticals to sell their bloody products. No. A real doctor, specialist, whatever, a person who you can trust. And because you will be amazing and surprised, they'll say, I suggest that you do not take it, the doctor will say, if it's a real doctor. Mostly the new generations, I will say, yes, take it, doesn't do nothing. And why does the Italian medical profession wants the an amnesty for misconducting on their jobs? If they do a cock-up, they're not liable to be prosecuted. Someone dies, make a mistake, they put the blame on things like they're under stress, undermanned. This could be true, but you still have to keep a certain professional level standard pretty high, because you are dealing with the health of patients and in their lives. There's even risks in every type of operation. But when it's under control and everyone who is in an operating theatre does their job, which most of them do, the risks are reduced. When you have one incompetent person, the risks are more high you losing your life, or you could get seriously injured for the rest of your life. And they don't want to make these people no more accountable. No. These people are you're talking about.